Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And guess what? It's Wednesday, so it's Let's Talk Astrology Day. And I have John from Massalia
Hello.
Tarot, Massalia Astro Tarot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you were missed, John. There was people who were asking where you were and what you were doing and whatnot. So yeah, I'll say hi to Teresa. Hey, Teresa, and hello, Sharon Sight. Welcome
Hi.
to you. And yeah, so you've been a busy little beaver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, work has taken the majority of my time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, it gets a little busy this time of year. So,
Yeah.
but glad to have you, every 2 weeks instead of not at all. So that is fantastic. So today we're going to learn all about Sagittarius. And I know some Sagittarians. It'll be interesting. But before we get into that, um, we are going to be doing our second draw for a free personalized astrological reading from John and a 30-minute tarot reading with me. So, all you had to do in order to enter was subscribe to both channels. And then, after the videos are posted, the astrology ones, then you needed to go back and leave a comment. Any comment, including enter me. Just that simple. And so I have picked up all the comments. Those of you who were in on the first draw, you're also in on the second draw. And a few more names were added. So let me grab my handy dandy hat. Everything is in here. You can do it old school, right on a piece of paper. So anyway, let me see. Who do we have? Who do we have? This one stuck out. Who is this? Oh, Tinkerbell. And Tinkerbell. Whoops. Can you? Whoa, go this way. Yeah, you can see that. Tinkerbell commented on the Aries video.
Wow.
Wow, that's a while back.
Yeah,
Right at the
definitely.
beginning. Okay, so if you are Tinkerbell or know who Tinkerbell is, would you kindly let him or her know that they should reach out to me at heartcentertarot@outlook.com, and I will share all the details and sort of the schedule and everything with him or her, and we will take it from there. So anyway,
Yay.
yay, Tinkerbell, good for you. Good for you. All righty. So, without taking up too much of your time, John, because I know you're busy. All right. let's dive into Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, today is all about Sagittarius, or aka the centaur. So
Mm-hmm.
remember 2 weeks ago when we talked about
Sherry.
Scorpio and all of its transformative quality. Scorpio needed to go into the depths of its own hell in order to look at its true nature, its own fears and anxieties, in order to manifest greater than they were prior to that. So, in order to truly be themselves and overcome their own barriers, their own self sabotaging. So, yeah,
Right.
definitely. Oh, hi,
Hi, Sherry H. Welcome, welcome.
So yeah, now that the transformation, the psychological transformation is done in Scorpio, um, emerging from the depths of psychological transformation, the individual is now determined to live their life through higher meaning. So now with
Wow.
Sagittarius, the self now finds newer sources of personal significance and can now seek limitless potential in personal growth. Remember, now we are in a fire sign. Fire signs are all about identity.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of at this place in the zodiac. I can do the other slide here. That's a better
Wow.
depictor here. We're almost at the top of the
Yes.
zodiac wheel now. So now that we've looked into the first sign of Aries here, the first fire sign was all about emerging from the depths of chaos and becoming this kind of affirming person. With Leo, it was the second fire sign of the zodiac, and it was all about manifesting our ego through some kind of spectacle or like some kind of being on under the limelight. But with Sagittarius now, um, this fire sign now needs to truly seek higher meaning, higher understanding of who they are. Actually, who am I? And yes, they did a tremendous amount of self introspection in Scorpio. And that was really good for psychological
Mhm.
introspection here. But with Sagittarius, the task is now to seek external values, to seek external possibilities in order to expand the mind, to make yourself, make your senses, your understanding, your intellectual prowess broaden with knowledge.
Right.
So, again, this is also where we can encounter duality since we are again faced with a mutable sign. So,
Hi, Vivian.
like
Oh,
Gemini, oh, it's okay. So, like Gemini, at the very bottom here, uh, Sagittarius has two halves that can interact between each other on a positive and negative aspect. So, the human part of the centaur, remember, this is the animal that
right.
depicts Sagittarius. So the human part of the centaur, the upper half, represent its desire for higher learning and quest for ultimate meaning. That is
Right.
also why Sagittarius is associated with philosophy, spirituality, and religion, as these three disciplines rely on abstract interpretation of reality to form
Yeah.
significance around the living. This is
Yeah.
the more disciplined part of Sagittarius that thrives on personal growth through learning about the self and the world, ever expanding its understanding. And also, this is the teaching aspect we can discover about Sagittarius, since they love to dispense what they've learned about over the years and transmit their wisdom through instruction. So
Right.
in Sagittarius, especially when people manifest the human part of Sagittarius, you will see a lot of people um, doing a lot of, I would say, professoral teaching.
Yeah.
Um, Even in the way they speak, they can go into long tirades, long, passionate and tirades about
Yeah.
what they know, what they value. And this is very opinionated. Also, it can
Yeah.
be very like, this is what I think, this is what it is. And you
Yeah.
should think about it too. You should think the same thing as me, or I
Yeah.
should. You can have your opinion too, but you know,
You're wrong. Yeah.
this, yeah,
You're, yeah, you can have it, but you're wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, So with Sagittarius, it is all about abstract, mental
Mhm.
labyrinth,
Yeah.
understanding what is the meaning of all this. So it's more about intuition. Whereas when we look back into Gemini, it was all about concrete information.
Yeah.
It was more sensory. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. What's the computer? What it does? Why should oh, there's this I don't know, this movie there. Oh, it's got this and this actor in it. Oh, so it's more about
Yeah.
collecting information, but it's more about um yeah, practical information. And remember, Gemini's problem was taking information and putting every information at the same pedestal, on the same
Yeah.
pedestal, and not organizing it into a hierarchy that was significant to them. Whereas in Sagittarius, they can encounter the same problem here, but sometimes this can be tricky because of all the oppositions, the dualities here of both signs that oppose each other. So we got Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, and now Gemini, Sagittarius. Gemini, Sagittarius are really, really alike. They can truly be very, very similar at first glance.
Yeah.
And you will see more on the horse part, the animal part. So the lower part of the centaur, comprised of the horse's body, is the physical, hedonistic side of Sagittarius. So here, the individual can be tempted by all of nature's excesses, whether it be food, alcohol, sex, drug, gambling, etc. So this side is the wilder, untamed part of the centaur that is usually more impulsive and ever lustful about what life can offer. So
Mhm.
again, with Sagittarius, there's a kind of a dichotomy here. Um, and you can encounter both parts, and this is usually the occurrence here is quite high. You can encounter both the human part and the animal part of someone who's really Sagittarius oriented in their charts. And that can cause someone to be a little bit in conflict with their
Mhm.
more spiritual side and their more
Right.
like practical animalistic side. And again, there's this kind of a, but there's always like every sign, there will always be one side that will like pull the covers even more, so to
Mm-hmm.
say.
Yeah.
So
Comment there.
yeah.
Yeah, from
Huh.
Amanda. She's a Sag, and her best friend growing up was a Gemini.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you're polar opposites on the
Yeah.
wheel.
And that
Yeah,
happens a lot. When
yeah,
you encounter someone, not necessarily your sun sign, but if you got a lot of planets in one sign,
yeah,
you can make a really good it's like you complete me. It's like
yeah,
opposites attract. It's
yeah.
natural. So following with what I've said before, um so about the animal part of Sagittarius, it can be really hard to resist such primal urges, as they can come across as stress reliefs if done in excess. Because,
Yeah.
sorry, Sagittarius, spoiler for like 4 minutes later, um, Sagittarius ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of excess. So it's like Sagittarius' worst fear is to be a little bit like Gemini in a way, but even
Yeah.
more so um, is to be ensnared, is to be locked up into something uncomfortable. Those Sagittarius are the pleasure seekers and the sorry, I'll drink some water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Take your time. Take your
Yeah.
time. give me a chance to say hi to
I'm
some of the
feeling
new
passionate
people that
here.
came in. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, Sagittarius is all about living life to its fullest, whether it be intellectual or sensory.
Yeah.
So you will see Sagittarius heading into something like, oh, I got this great project, or I got this great thing in my head and I want to realize it. But again, like Gemini, they have a tendency to like scatter their energy and to be a
Yeah.
little bit all over the place. So it's really important for that sign to truly harness and focus on one thing instead of like looking around and be tempted by everything.
Yeah.
What else? I was going off a tangent here. Um, I think it's because it's Sagittarius today.
Yes,
um,
you're allowed. And today's the full moon too.
oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, since we're in Sagittarius right now, the moon is in Gemini, so it's kind of amplifies
Yeah.
the like scatteredness, yeah, and the idea
Yeah.
jumping, and oh yeah.
I know.
Okay,
I know. Yeah. So
yeah,
we all know it's not you. It's yeah,
yeah,
planetary influence. Nothing you can do about it. Just sit back and go along for the ride. That's it. Yeah.
yeah. So where am I? Okay, yeah. So it is understandable that both parts of that sign can be very difficult to harmonize. And as usual with mutable signs, one will take over the other. Remember Virgo? Virgo's
Yeah.
conundrum was, should I be this kind of control freak, or this have control over the material plane, or should I let loose and be like completely out of focus, out of my duties, my responsibilities? So this there was this kind of dichotomy here with the Virgo again, and Gemini was about the spiritual and also the material side too, like Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So again, it's kind of hard. And since the sign of Sagittarius is the sign of joy, which has the same etymological root as its ruling planet Jupiter, comes from the
Mhm.
same word root
Yeah.
Jove,
Yeah.
the individual here can find great pleasure in both the spiritual and physical realms. And this can also be an opportunity for this sign to always expand and explore different concepts of life as a way to avoid boredom and pain.
Yeah.
Remember, if you remember the Gemini podcast clearly, there's a lot of overlap here. A lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, with that in mind, Sagittarius people may take quite a while to settle into life and continue pursuing multiple projects over a significant period of time. And again, Sagittarius is like try taming a wild horse.
Yeah.
It'll like no, it won't work at all.
Yeah.
And you need to be patient. You need to allow for some kind of freedom,
Yeah.
some kind of like yeah, some kind
Yeah.
of, okay, you can do this, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You're better off to agree to some of the things, some of the freedoms that they want, than you are to just say no. It's this way, and that's it.
yeah. Oh
Right?
no, no, absolutely not.
If you give them some autonomy over some freedom, then they're more willing to listen to what you have to say. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and you will see that some Sagittarius people, and not only taking into consideration the sun sign, but every other planets, some people will self limit
Yeah.
and not actualize the huge potential that this sign can display.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Yeah.
again, like we've seen with countless other signs. So, um, with that in mind, Sagittarius people may take quite a while to settle. Oh, yeah, I did say that. So the outcome shall decide whether it is necessary to continue to do so or seek moderation. Again, with that sign being this kind of, they don't know how to stop seeking stimulation.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to focus on a particular goal and make it flourish over time because they
Yeah.
seek joy. They seek um,
Yeah.
some kind of unattainable bliss at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Always, it's a little bit of the fear of missing out, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you've got that also with Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
What's
And,
next?
and I don't know about you, but I find some part of these Sagittarian is um, they almost have to make a conscious choice that either they're going to live in peace and love or they're going to be a victim. And
Mm,
once they seem to adopt that, it's like they want to stick to it. So,
yeah.
if they feel themselves a victim, they will forever see themselves as a victim and always kind of want to get into that role. So,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
see that.
that's just my 2 cents worth. And what do I know?
So, symbolically, the sign of Sagittarius could be seen as a vast grassy field with countless discoveries to be found. Little trinkets,
Mm,
oh, here's that. I didn't notice
yeah.
that. Oh, wow. So
Well,
the heat of the sun has been absorbed through the earth and is now radiating with a soft, inviting warmth that beckons explorers from every corners of the globe. So it's kind of uncharted territory. And far on the horizon stands a towering mountain range that hints at the grueling ascent that will be deployed in the next sign of Capricorn.
mm-hmm.
So here, remember, we just emerged from the dark depths of the murky waters of Scorpio, and reborn again, the individual seeks fulfillment, joy. It's like a craving from all the traumatizing uh, agony that this sign has experienced. This
Mm-hmm.
individual has experienced in Scorpio.
Yeah.
And now this kind of, if I don't experience joy and pleasure, I die again. So like it's like I'm compelled to move and move and move and seek like all I can do in order to feel sustained, content, complete
Yeah.
with Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So here you can see with on that slide that Sagittarius's main ruler is Jupiter, planet of joy and expansion. And
Yeah.
this is where the centaur's natural optimism and pleasure seeking personality comes from, as this planet is all about finding a source of happiness in which one can trust on, especially in dire times. Jupiter is the first social planet after all the personal planets coming from the sun
Yeah.
all the way through Mars. So Jupiter speaks about how can I form, how can I assemble in a community? If you think about before, the root word for most Latin based languages, such as Italian, Spanish, French, the word church uh, ultimately leads to the Greek, if I remember, ecclesias or something like that.
Oh,
And
Ecclesias. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, and it means like where people gather,
Yeah.
where people meet. It's like
Yeah.
a focal point where people can assemble and share their
Yeah.
faith. And it's all Jupiter related. How can we surmount, overcome difficulties, and
Yeah,
keep having faith in the world that we're living in. That is all about Jupiter and having this
totally.
kind of guidance.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That's, why I think, oh, yeah, hold on here.
yep,
Hi, Sita. Thanks for coming. Um, I think that's, yeah, most things having to do with religion or whatnot are ecclesiastical studies,
yeah,
right? So yeah, they will have um, the church part in there, and that makes sense. Makes
it
sense.
is. And Jupiter can also represent the guide in all of us, akin to a personal tutor or teacher that can inspire us to venture into favorable situation,
Right,
favorable and fortunate also, where we can grow and expand our mind, our soul, our destiny.
right.
So, however, this is also a plan of excess, like I've said before, since everything that Jupiter touches is amplified. So, wherever Jupiter lies in your chart, it kind of amplifies the like the character of that planet or point or
Yeah.
etc. So, for my part, I've got the sun conjunct Jupiter, so they're like very close together. So
Hmm.
my identity, the sun, is like amplified by Jupiter. So there's a strong need for me to shine. There's a very strong need to shine through. For instance, it's in the third house for me, so it's about what I know about, and this
Yeah.
can I can also be, I would say, influenced by Jupiter's kind of professoral approach. So I identified as a teacher.
You
Like,
are absolutely, you are the poster child for that comment.
yeah,
Because yeah, absolutely, your knowledge and the way that you present the knowledge is absolutely professorial. It
yeah,
is, and yeah, the depth of your knowledge is very vast. No wonder you're proud of that. I would be too.
yeah, and the sun represents pride. So
Yeah.
definitely, there's a lot of prides coming from that.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
again, since everything Jupiter touches is amplified, therefore we can understand why Sagittarius is not prone to restricting itself. Neptune also is the modern ruler here on
Yeah.
the right, sorry, of Sagittarius, and is akin to the even more spiritual side of the centaur, and the way it can influence society through diligence and benevolence. So,
Yeah.
a good way to cut through to differentiate those two planets, because they can be a little bit similar. Jupiter is more about uh, established established faith in some kind of, um, like I would say, the church instead of like spirituality. The church is like
Yeah.
established, um, movements, organizations.
Hmm.
It's also about how can we expand, how can we learn about, the world, that can inspire us. But Jupiter is still quite a bit, a little bit
Yeah.
naive. So Neptune here is like the true test for Sagittarius, because Neptune represents illusion and
Yeah.
delusion. So yeah, Sagittarius, zeal powered by their optimism can be truly put to the test when they are, confronted with limitations.
Right.
And Neptune is here to like test their ability to see clearly, because Neptune is the great deceiver in the planetary hierarchy.
Hmm.
So yeah, it can truly test.
Yeah.
Again, Neptune, the dark side of Neptune, um, can be translated through Sagittarius by uh, being quite nefarious, especially when it comes to developing addictions. Also,
Mm-hmm.
because both Jupiter and Neptune aren't very prone to be limited or self limit.
Yeah.
On the contrary, those are expanding planets. They don't know any
Yeah.
limits. So, yeah, you can understand why Jupiter has such a fear of being harnessed, of being controlled. It is a real problem for them. Um okay, so Sagittarius, should I put that? Oh, that's a cute one.
Okay. I think I'm back.
Sagittarius. Oh, you were cut off?
Oh, yeah, I think I was. I think I
Yeah, a
was.
little bit.
Okay, I think I'm back. All right. Okay.
Okay.
We did, we were
So,
doing so well. I was so hopeful.
yeah.
Oh well.
So, Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, meaning that its job is to adapt and refine, that is the mutable modality, its own identity, the fire element, to optimal conditions so that it can grow exponentially. This sign is effectively the last fire sign of the zodiac and its most refined version. Yeah, here the fire is not as brutal as in Aries, is not at is
Yeah.
not at like all consuming as in Leo. It's kind of it's like the last uh last little embers that flickers in the foyer or the uh yeah, it's the last little gift of life that a fireplace can provide,
Yeah.
hoping for true transformation here. So you've had this sign is effectively the very last sign, the most refined version, in addition of starting the third and last elemental cycle. So
Yeah.
remember, we started the first elemental cycle when we were in Aries, all the way through Cancer. This
Yeah.
was all about forming an identity for who we are, how can I survive. And then we've started the second elemental cycle with Leo, all the way through Scorpio. And it was all about developing with first how can we express ourselves with Leo, and
Yeah.
how can we be of use to society with Virgo, and then how can we also mingle with others? How can we truly have this sense of parity, this sense of intimacy through
Yeah.
Libra first, and then truly with Scorpio?
Yeah.
So again, um, uh yeah, definitely we have this kind of need here for true refinement of the personality with the third and last elemental cycle here, all the way through Pisces. This is the most collective cycle here, starting with Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So and yep, starting with the fire triad again, I don't want to repeat myself here, but we encountered the initial spark of human life with Aries, then proceeded to its assertion and stabilization in Leo. And now, again, like I've said before, the flames of identity are slowly dying, with the only remains being scorched wood and volatile embers, as if the fires has entered a cycle of transmutation. So Sagittarius's role is to elevate the soul into a higher plane of existence without forgetting its previous learnings. So this can be expressed through going to higher learning, such as university, adhering to a new
Yep.
religion, or simply by traveling. Because
Yeah.
like the old saying say, like travel shapes the mind. Like Yeah,
Yeah.
travel truly changes our perspective, our outlook on
Yeah.
life. Those are true, or those are key words for Sagittarius: outlook, perspectives.
Yeah.
Um, and as the first sign of the last elemental cycle, this also makes the individual spiritually conscious of its mission on Earth. What
Hmm.
am I supposed to do in a on a higher perspective, on a higher plane? It's no
Yeah.
longer, oh, I need to feed my kids, or I need to file my I don't know, like my I file my taxes. It's just,
Yeah.
it's more about the greater picture here.
Yeah.
Um so this also makes, yeah, urging it to learn as much as possible to develop its morality. So by doing so, this sign can effectively become wiser by going beyond what is formerly thought of mindless abstraction.
Yeah.
And finally, by ending the third modal cycle of relationship. So yeah, we've got also the modal cycle here. This is the third one. Remember, we've started the modal cycle, the first one, from Aries through Gemini, then
Yeah.
from Vir- Cancer through Virgo, and then we're ending the third one with Libra through Sagittarius. So this is the modal cycle of relationship, and Sagittarius can fully integrate the significance of forming a couple. So in Libra, we have first established relationship by going into seduction mode and officializing the union. In Scorpio, we
Yeah.
have experienced the emotional turmoil that can result in being a couple. But now in Sagittarius, we are now tasked to explore further by not letting our relationship define us. So yeah, we are our own person. We are our own
Yeah.
kind of individual that has some kind of mission, some kind of truth to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can do that one. So the careers of Sagittarius are usually quite diverse and subject to evolution. Some centaur folks are attracted to higher learning and therefore can become professors, philosophers, lawyers, judges, priests, geographers, etc.
Yeah.
While some might like jobs that are centered around travel, like flight attendants, tour guides, travel agents, to only name a few, and some might even embrace the wildlife and become horse breeders, ranchers, forest rangers, etc. So think about broad strokes here.
Yeah.
With Sagittarius, the potential is limitless. The
Yeah.
human mind and soul is like, yeah, you set your own limits here from now
Yeah.
on. You are no longer restricted here.
Yeah.
So again, going to the dark side of Sagittarius here. Well, the dark side of Sagittarius, it's gluttony for stimulation, and this sign can be prone to every temptation. And
Hmm.
yeah, the centaur can lure itself into thinking that it can find contentment through constant distraction,
Yeah.
effectively self-destructing its maturing process for now, along with its mental and physical health. It is completely normal for Sagittarius to venture into multiple directions at a time, and it is the sign of exploration after all.
Yeah.
But it must not linger in that state for too long, for it would dissipate its chance for true elevation.
Yeah.
There is also another side of Sagittarius yet to be discussed: self righteousness. After having experienced some of the mysteries of life, mostly in Scorpio,
Yeah.
The human part of this sign can believe to have all the answers on a specific subject and become intellectually tyrannical and inflexible on that matter. This unsightly behavior can be explained by the fact that Sagittarius ruler Jupiter is associated with abstract thinking and the spiritual, as opposed to Gemini, more concrete thinking. But this means that some centaurs, should they not be careful, make mental shortcuts leading to misinformation that can be taken as an absolute truth.
Yeah.
Of course, this can lead to dogmatic thinking, narrated with pompous emphasis, which leave no place for debate whatsoever. And finally, Sagittarius can share the same issues with Gemini, which is duplicity of speech, as they can express one opinion when they truly think otherwise.
Yeah.
So, the life mission of Sagittarius is to deepen its knowledge to become truly versatile and worldly in life. It doesn't matter the way they choose to do so, whether it be the university, being self taught, or being just by being street smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another water sip
Good.
here.
Got a comment here from, hold on, got a comment here from
Mm.
Amanda Carroll. Yeah. My work life has been food and art, very prone to access. We can be very self righteous indeed, while very open minded. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Sagittarius can like be some kind of ambivert and some, yeah, they can slide
Yeah.
towards both being really open minded, but at the same time on certain subject or certain having there's kind of opinions that are really like,
Yeah.
no, I won't budge on that. This is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and no, and yeah, it is interesting to say the least.
Yeah. You know yourself, Amanda. That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yeah.
So, where was I? Oh, yeah. The centaur needs to direct their attention to what is essential to human growth rather than the effete and superficial. By integrating the positive qualities of Gemini, Sagittarius can narrow down its scope by putting some concrete words into its daily cravings and focus on the simple details as well as the grand picture. Such positive self discipline can result in this sign integrating what has been learned and then transmitted to others in layman's terms so that everyone can
Yeah.
understand. Only then can Sagittarius communicate true words of wisdom without being sidetracked by excitement or ruled by its own opinions.
Oh, Sharon Sipe says, hi, John.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I
Oh,
got a beautiful horsey here.
Downing. Yeah.
So, the ideal love, the ideal love life of Sagittarius should match any other areas, exciting and full of discoveries. This sign is famously known to be adventurous at bed and love experimenting with its partners. Should they decide to settle down, they need to find someone that is adaptable enough for embracing sudden changes of plan and is delighted to participate in fun activities. And as for their sexuality, well, the partner needs to expect plenty of it with many novelties and to get accustomed to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, I wish I could have contemplated more of this picture, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like always, the associations are there. I want to emphasize, like always, the body parts.
Yeah.
Now, with the Zodiac Man, we're about a little bit, yeah, it's we're about in again in the groin area, but more leaning towards the hips,
Yeah.
the thighs. It's more about mobility here, since Sagittarius is all about well, yeah, activity, moving towards their
Yeah.
goal and being fun loving and yeah,
Yeah.
always in activity, movement.
Yeah.
So those body parts can be fragile and also the liver, since the liver is ruled by Jupiter, and the liver can be quite it can be quite a challenge for Jupiter to be careful
Yeah.
about any excesses that can be yeah, canalized through the liver, especially with alcohol, food,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah, so fatty liver can be a true um, can be like a true like condition for people with lots
Yeah.
of Sagittarius that don't know how to limit themselves.
Yeah.
uh Again. Oh, that's the fun part. So
Yay.
any planet that falls into Sagittarius will need to be free of to expand in order to be expressed properly. There is a real need
Mhm.
for exploration and freedom here. Failure to express planets in a healthy way may result in scattered energy and wasteful potential, various excesses, and liver and or mobility problems. So,
Yeah.
having the sun in Sagittarius, remember the sun is all about identity. So, identity here is tied to our own beliefs and capacity to expand the mind. So here there's a true need to explore option and stick to a few of them in order to shine, to be truly this kind of wise person, and to embody this kind of freedom seeker, this free spirited individual. So yeah, the identity is like really magnified with Sagittarius. There is a true need to find all the meaning we can and find joy through understanding oneself.
Yeah.
The moon in Sagittarius, again, tied to personal sense of freedom. There are two freedom seeking signs in the zodiac: Sagittarius and Aquarius.
Yeah.
Those two signs cannot live without some kind of autonomy, some kind of freedom.
Yep.
And the moon is all about our sensitivities. How can we make ourselves tick? How can we be out of balance when we are reactive
Yeah.
to whatever's the sign's concerns are? So here, the moon in Sagittarius is really, really um, in need of freedom. So they can easily feel the restrictions of life. Some women having the moon in Sagittarius can experience some kind of either not necessarily like baby blues, but it's kind of, oh my God, I have responsibility right now. I have some kind
Hmm.
of, yeah, I can't, or even it could be like some kind of like
That
marital
feel.
obligations or things like that. It
Yeah.
can be really hard for some women who just had like who are childbearing and having
Yeah.
this new baby in their life. um
Yeah.
yeah,
Feeling
being
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed by responsibilities, not having
Yeah.
this kind of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, there is a real craving for expansion in
Yeah.
every kind of sense of the world of the word.
Yeah.
And they may be overly attached to personal convictions because there's an emotional attachment to them.
Yeah.
Mercury at Sagittarius. Mercury here is kind of interesting because, yeah, Mercury is again the way we communicate, we think, we
Yeah.
share opinions, we share, yeah, we learn. So, yeah, communicate a lot and with emphasis. You know, when you got a Mercury in Sagittarius, they can talk the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, whenever they're passionate about a subject, they can be
Yeah.
very curious or mentally all over the place. Again, it depends on other factors, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Mercury here can be a little bit like, woo, all over the place. Uh, they can also be extremely frank. Like any other fire sign, Mercury and fire signs are, in general, are quite frank, quite blunt.
Yeah.
But this one tends to neglect details because Mercury here is in the sign of abstract and the global instead
Yeah.
of the details, like in Virgo.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, you think that, but have you considered like maybe this detail? This can change
Yeah.
your whole thing, your whole opinions.
Yeah.
Venus in Sagittarius. Oh my God, this is the grand adventurer that wants freedom, that
Yeah.
they love freedom so much, and they can truly have this kind of yeah, excited by the new romantic conquest. They like the novel.
Yeah.
They have this kind of they can be sensual, but at the same time they want things to be grand. They want
Yeah.
things like, let's do it, like unabashed and like on the fly, unprepared, like very
Yeah.
simplistic. They don't want to make any fuss demands. They don't
Yeah.
want like little details. No, they want like, let's just do it. Let's just have a impromptu picnic at the side of
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a lake or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Um, Mars in Sagittarius, stimulated by new projects. Mars is all about our the way we focus and
Yeah.
express our activity, our aggressive nature. So yes, they're stimulated by new projects. Could be intellectual, physical, spiritual, name it. They
Yeah.
want sexual freedom. Oh my God, yes. And
Yeah.
this position, Mars in Sagittarius, is like the they have some kind of reputation of being a little bit unfaithful,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit also with Venus and Sagittarius, but Mars, yeah,
Yeah.
they they want
Yeah.
to have they want to have sex, and they they like to, yeah, let me
Yeah.
live my libido. They can be quick to
Yeah.
anger, but also
Yeah.
dissipate quickly. It's like boom,
Yeah.
and it's gone. And very
Yeah.
impatient. Yeah, it's like, no, I want it now. A little bit like Mars and Aries here. And
Yeah.
what I've forgot to mention in with Mercury in Sagittarius, um, unlike other signs, especially like Earth signs, Mercury in Sagittarius can tend to be a little bit on the like time is fluid for them. So they
Mm-hmm.
can run late to an appointment or just like really flushed or really like
Yeah.
on the nose, and they don't seem to really care. It's like, no, I'll do it when I go, and I'm just
Yeah.
5 minutes late. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not really a no. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like not
Yeah.
a
Totally.
strong concern here, contrary to Mercury in Virgo or other signs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
uh,
we
yep.
just got a good morning from Perth, Australia.
Oh my
Flora.
God.
Yeah, Navias. Well, Flora, hello to
Wow.
you.
Hello.
It's evening time here, but
Yeah.
yeah, welcome. I hope
Oh, we're
you'll
going
probably
global
have to
here.
watch this, in later because we're almost at the end, but hey, you're here. Thank you for being here.
So,
Okay.
yeah, examples of celebrities with dominant Sagittarius in their charts are American Instagram personality Caroline Calloway with 11 points out of 20 in Sagittarius.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely a lot. We've got American actress Alyssa Milano with 10 points.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
American musician and member of the group New Kids on the Block, Joey McIntyre,
Yeah.
10 points again.
Wow.
Like, even though he's, well, the, the really funny thing is he's actually Capricorn, but he's got so
Yeah.
freaking much in Sagittarius. And at the same
Yeah.
time, he's got the ruling planet Jupiter conjunct his sun. So that amplifies
Yeah.
the Sagittarius nature again. It's really spectacular here.
Yeah.
We also got American football linebacker from the Oakland Raiders of the National Football League, Corey Toomer, 10 points again. We got American teacher and U.S. astronaut Barbara Morgan, 9
Yeah.
points.
Wow.
And finally, we got British actress and daughter of actress and singer Julie Andrews, Emma Walton Hamilton, with
Yeah.
8 points. She
All
definitely
righty.
resembles her mother.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hi, Travels.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Wow. Very good. Very good. Yeah. This is the, and I always say it, but it's true. The more information that you have, the more that you have to work with, the more understanding you can be, and realize maybe someone is reacting in a way at this particular moment, um, in a way that maybe they wouldn't react normally.
Yeah.
You know, you can say, oh yeah, okay, well, I know they are this sign, and this is probably, it's nothing personal, but yeah, the more information that you have about anything, the better decisions that you can make.
That's
So
true.
yeah, and you always do such a fantastic job of explaining this.
Thank
It
you.
just, yeah, it just makes so much sense. So
Oh, thanks.
yeah. Okay, so don't forget, you guys, we still have one more draw, which is going to happen sometime in January. Okay, after we do um, the last sign, which is Pisces,
Yep.
and probably a few days after Pisces. Yeah, we'll do the final draw. But this time around, we had the winner was, let me put it up there so you can see it. Going this way, if you can see it, Tinkerbell. So if anybody knows Tinkerbell, please get in touch with him or her. I will put it up on the community page just to make sure that it gets up to everyone. But if you know who Tinkerbell is, please have them get in touch with me at heartcenteredtarot@outlook.com. And we will then go ahead and make the arrangements for the free, the personal astrological reading from John and a 30-minute tarot reading from me. So chances are, I mean, I do have some openings here in December, so I can probably do the tarot reading for the winner, fairly quickly. I think with John's work schedule and the amount of hours that he's been putting in, I suspect that the astrological will be sometime in January. I'm thinking, John.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is, you know what? Totally get it. Totally get it. So for those of you that are here, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining
Yeah,
us. It
thank
means the
you.
world to me to know that you're there. and I love to share your comments with John whenever they come in. Because he does a great job. He should know that he does a great job. So, also before I let you all go, just a couple things. I'm going to, in my community page, and I haven't decided if I'm going to put it in the community page or do a short little video and take it from there. But tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Mountain Standard Time, whatever, I will be on Val Dragonfly Crystal's channel, and we're starting something new, and I'm really excited about it. And it's a series that we want to do on light workers. What is a light worker? Are you a light worker? Is there different types of light workers? If you identified recently as being a light worker, what information do you wish that you had before that we can share with other people? And then from there, we'll be looking at as a collective, as a positive collective, to maybe read a few cards on an area, a country, a situation, whatever, and collectively send out our good vibrations to that, because I think there is power in those good vibrations. So that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Val Dragonfly Crystal's channel, and the description is below, because I'm also going to be on her channel the following day on Friday at 3 p.m. where we're going to do a regular political reading. So those are a couple things that are new, and I'm very, very excited by them. So there you go. That's what's happening here. So anything happening on your end, John, you want to share?
Work.
Yeah, there's that thing,
Yeah.
It's one of those 4-letter words we don't like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. All right. Well, thank you all for being here, and I'll catch you again 2 weeks from tonight on the 21st, where we're going to get into Capricorn.
Yay,
and all things Capricorn. So make sure to join us for that. It'll be 7 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. Okay, everyone, take care. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.